Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, probably one of the worst and most embarrassing things for you to get is a public wake up call where all the world has a chance to see you being embarrassed by somebody who calls himself the most powerful person in the world. That is what happened to some African leaders that came to the United States to meet with Donald Trump a few days ago. Take a listen to this exchange.
We want to encourage American involvement in the investment in Liberia.
Yeah.
We'd like to see that happen. We want to work with the United States in peace and security within the region because we are committed to that. And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. And such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well,
Very
and
good, sir. Thank you.
they come from here. So thank you very much.
That was the president of Liberia speaking to Donald Trump. First of all, Donald Trump didn't hear anything that man said because he was not taking him seriously. He was not taking them seriously. Second of all, did you see how meek and deferential he was talking to Donald Trump? He is the president of a country himself, but he was almost, I don't know, intimidated. His voice was almost intimidated speaking to Donald Trump. And we just thank you for the opportunity to come here to speak with you because they really want to network with the United States. Donald Trump was just sitting there nodding like, I'm not really paying any attention to you. But it was just almost, it was kind of cringy watching it. But now, can you imagine what would have happened if he had been talking to a black American? I guarantee you his demeanor would have been totally opposite. He would have taken on a superior attitude talking to a black American. Any African would, because that's their disposition. They don't have any respect for other black people. But with this white man, he was in an inferior mode. So I just thought, oh my goodness, this man does not know anything about Donald Trump. And Donald Trump wasn't trying to know anything about them. Because I think the man is I'm going to let you hear what the president of Liberia said in response after the fact. And then he reveals the real reason Donald Trump invited them to Washington. So listen to this.
Yesterday's exchange with Trump shocked and angered me. I never thought I would be insulted like this in an international setting. I understand his arrogance. He impatiently asked for speed up many times in the meeting, but he pretended to be surprised even though he knew that English is our official language. Discrimination and prejudice against our country is too great. Seems to have tacitly agreed that African countries should not have language skills and that we should not have development. But he was disappointed. We have our own long history and culture. We receive education on our own land and master the official language of English. This is normal, but Trump, as a leader of a country, deliberately repeated praise to me with a racially prejudiced attitude. The sarcastic tone and ignorant sense of superiority made me feel extremely disgusted. This is too arrogant. I believe that if Trump cannot learn to respect every country, he will sooner or later become an international laughingstock.
Well, he's already an international laughingstock. But this is pretty much the playbook of America and American presidents. The rest of them are just a lot more smooth with it, but they all think the same way, and they think the same way about Africa and African people. He said that they don't think they should have good health or good opportunities or whatever he said. And that's exactly how they feel about black people in general. The fact that Africans think that they are superior to black Americans is laughable because black Americans get more respect worldwide than Africans do, than African leaders do. And that is because we are Americans and because, the white man is running America. But that's the way it is. And it's unfortunate that you have to come all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to find out what a black person could have told you on the telephone, but you wouldn't have believed it. You would not have believed it. And I'm playing this to show how naive these African people are. They really have a highfalutin opinion of themselves that nobody shares. Nobody has this opinion of them but them. And the Liberians don't have a bad reputation worldwide. But I mean, when you look at people like Nigerians and Ethiopians and Somalis, they go into other people's countries and they don't want them in their country. But when they come here, they think they are better than black Americans. And we can go anywhere and live and don't get run out of anybody's country because we don't go begging. But when they come here, they think they're the shit. But these wake up calls are very important for Africans. And I'm not going to throw Caribbeans into this because I think they know what time it is. But this was a very good lesson. This was a public humiliation of African leaders, and they're going to continue to get this until they face the reality that the world doesn't view them any differently than it does other black people. And I think this is the reason why so many black Americans feel like we need to delineate from this so-called diaspora and let them get the reality check and the wake up calls that they need to come down to earth because nobody has any great deal of respect for them. And here's another video of the Liberian president speaking on this.
Trump is really the worst president I have ever seen. He is so ignorant and rude. The leaders of 5 of our countries traveled thousands of miles to come here to discuss trade with him. But he raised his head and humiliated me with gestures and asked me where I learned English as if I was an uneducated country bumpkin. If he paid a little attention, he would know that English is our mother tongue. We were all embarrassed for him. What I can't accept the most is that he dared to ask us to write a letter of recommendation for him for the Nobel Prize. It's ridiculous. The President of Israel wrote this to please him. Does you really think he is a peace ambassador? He has never visited Africa since he took office. For example, poor countries like us sell weapons in the name of maintaining balance, but they are still targeting our oil and minerals. I really regret dealing with such a person.
You can hear the remorse in his voice as he realizes that they were played. Donald Trump invited them to the White House in the name of discussing trade with those 5 African countries. But the real reason he brought them there was to see if he could get them to write letters to the Nobel Peace Prize Committee nominating him or recommending him or trying to give a reason why he should be given a Nobel Prize. That was the real reason that he invited them there. He had no intention of networking with them or building any kind of trade agreement with them. It's always bad to see somebody being that deceitful. I'm going to invite you here in the name of doing this, but what I really want you to do is this. Getting recommendations from 5 African nations would probably help in his effort to get nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize because it goes to people who have made efforts in arms control, peace negotiation, democracy, human rights, and creating a better organized and more peaceful world. Donald Trump doesn't have any of those qualities. He's not peaceful. He doesn't promote democracy or human rights, and is not particularly interested in making the world a better place. So it would be phony for them to even think about recommending him for a peace prize. But it would help if they would do it, but they're not going to do it. So at least they saw through that. And why does he want a Nobel Peace Prize? Well, President Obama got one, so he wants one. He wants to prove that he is better than President Obama. So he wants a Nobel Peace Prize. But anyway, y'all, let me know what you think about this. He invited them there and humiliated them, knowing full well that he was not going to build any kind of trade agreement with them. Okay. Have a good evening.